Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Parkinson Oval for Premier Grade Burnside versus Brighton. We are under sunny skies for the minute, threatening clouds in the background. I'm Steph Redmond, joined today by
Cameron Young.
Cameron Young. Here we go. Just about to kick off. We've got Brighton kicking to Burnside, playing north. Lisa Kenny out in the middle today with the whistle. One out ball, Lewis Boyle making yards. Good clean out there by Brighton. Riley Byrne delivering. Up to Estienne Strauss. Aidan Flynn over the top protecting. Riley Byrne digging into it again. Nathan McPherson met behind the gain line. And arm up for a penalty. First one of the game.
Looks like that's against Ed Wilkes.
Ed Wilkes for, I think the signal there might have been for a high tackle. The Brighton will look to put this into the corner, staying out of the cricket pitch in the middle so far.
Yeah, slightly muddy conditions in the middle of the ground, as is to be expected here at Parkinson Oval. We've had a bit of rain during the week, but as you said, the storm clouds seem to be holding off for now. We've got a nice sunny patch.
Sunny patch, and Brighton throw in for the first line out.
I've got a strong set piece, Brighton, here. What do you think they'll do?
I'd say probably go short, start up, and it'll be quick off the top and try and recycle out through the backs. So we've got Ben Edwards throwing in.
And a slightly wonky feed off the top there, but Brighton managed it that well.
To Sid Socks playing in 12, takes into contact, stripped in the tackle.
By Manu Vai, but he's been brought back for the penalty.
Not releasing. So Manu in its 2 row this week.
He's playing second row.
Yeah, he'll be playing like a flanker there. It's a Monty for a goal kicker, but we'll put a commentator's curse on him straight up, I would have thought.
Well, hopefully he doesn't miss now, because you've gone ahead and called him. But if I know Macker, he's a very good kick at goal. And this is not a very difficult shot on a slight angle.
Not too far off centre, though, so the ones generally dead out the front are the ones that they spray usually, isn't it? It's just like, oh, there's no pressure on this, and they pop it off to a side. But he'll be off a short run up. It'll be a 2-stepper, and he'll just punch this over. He'll be hoping.
And is this something you'd expect Brighton to do throughout the game, is take the points?
On a day like today, looking at the park, having been out there earlier, it's a soft track around the centre of the field. Brighton they'll go through their processes and they'll play what's in front of them. They'll expect Burnside to be coming at them with all guns blazing, as I'm sure Burnside are expecting Brighton to. So it's always a strong match between these two sides, and it's one that they'll play percentages and they'll take the points when they're on offer. I think both sides.
Well, you're quite right about that. Both teams will be fired up. It is a top of the table clash, I believe.
Yep, sure is.
Of course, last match down there at Brighton certainly had the better of Burnside, but I think Burnside have improved a lot in their shape and their cohesion in attack, and have got some key personnel back, so it should be a great clash today.
Should be good. So kick-off down into the 22. Pass back to McPherson. Signal or shot? Corner. So Burnside going for put the pressure on Brighton, testing their line out in their defence.
That's a good kick there by Keanu. He's put it right in the corner, and Burnside get a nice attacking opportunity inside the 22. That's young Patrick Etuati, who'll be throwing in today.
In the number 1?
That's it.
Yep. So go centre.
Clean take off the top, and Burnside bring it down and set up their maul.
It's well sacked by Brighton, though.
Yeah, it's a slightly scrappy passage of play, but they've managed to maintain their possession here.
Oh.
Keanu going himself, taking that right up to the line, but not making too many metres. Burnside falls into a bit of slow play here. But they've recycled well. That's Sol Loper taking it into contact.
Well met in defence there by Sam T. Oh, and a little knock on there. Not picked up. Playing that short side.
Just lots of short carries here.
Ball directing traffic out to the 10 channel to Vi. Met by Simpson and Pitter.
And that's definitely what you have to do with Manu. Meet him right when he takes the ball. You can't allow him to get a bit ahead of steam up.
No, he'll take his opportunities, won't he? Or create them.
Burnside seem to be taking the ball pretty flat. Not getting a lot of momentum and not getting a lot of speed on the ball.
Yeah, they're not hitting the ball at pace, but you can't from there. You sort of got to take your snipes where you can, and it's those close one-off runners. Brighton being penalised for offside. So this is right out in front of the posts.
It'll be interesting to see what Burnside decide to do here. This is almost a gimme.
Do they trust their scrum or do they take the 3?
And it looks like they're pointed to the post.
Post, yep. Safe money on when you're given a penalty 5 metres out from the line. Last line out where they punched it into the corner. Sacked by Brighton. And then one-off runners, they were, as you said, they were flat. They were short runs. They were hard, but Brighton's defence stood up. But a sneaky little offside out in the middle.
Maybe Burnside just playing the conditions there, not trying to be too expansive with the slightly muggy conditions.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that it's the area to trying to be overly flashy. It's not the conditions for it, and 3 points taken. So
yeah, Keanu early effort makes no mistake there, puts it straight over the red black dot.
Black dot, yep, right in the middle. So 3-all into the 7th minute of play. So the restart will be from Nathan McPherson from the far side of the
mud pit
of the cricket pitch, and he's going to send it 10 or let bounce.
A bit of indecision there from the 2 Burnside forwards. It looked like Patrick Edouati and Kira Brown there.
Little knock on. So
Brighton have come up with it.
It was
Nathan
nice
McPherson just saw the little space in behind and dabbed that one through.
But we're coming back for first scrum of the game. So centre field scrum Brighton, 5 metres outside the 22.
That looks about it, and we'll get our first look at the scrum battle today. I think Burnside always take pride in their forward pack. Brighton no slouches in that department either.
No, big front row today. You've got Sam T on the loose head, Ben and Teddy Edwards in at hooker in the blue headgear, and we've got Aidan Flynn on the far side. Should be a good line up, good battle up front with these two big front rows. So Burn feeds, nice clean strike. Pitter picks up off the back, feeds Burn. Riley Burn just a little dab through, touched by Burnside player, so all Brighton players are on side. Taken 5 metres out.
They've chased well there, but Burnside have got back in support and managed to secure this ball. Clean up here.
Oh, and he just over-dabs the ball. Brighton kicking the ball dead, so it'll be a goal line dropout or a 5 metre scrum.
And a missed opportunity there, but a great piece of follow-up from Keanu, chasing his own kick.
Soccer's not his game.
No.
Which is probably quite fortunate because he's doing bloody well out there so far. He's had an impact on the game already, and on the half a dozen touches that he's already had, he's looked impressive.
Playing 10 today, Keanu. He sort of switched between 10 and 12 this year.
Yep.
Of course, coming back to Burnside this year from a stint playing over in New South Wales.
Nice bit of variety for him. A bit of insight into East Coast rugby. Always, it shows when they come back. They bring some insight. They bring a different flavour to the game that they've picked up over there.
Yeah, certainly different style of rugby played over there.
Certainly is. So long
kick taken well by Freeman Eater game. Met well by Brighton there though.
Yeah, Nick Simpson going a fraction high. You're going to tackle Manu, you've got to go low. So sitting right on halfway. Vi another go. 2 big men have collided there between Vi and Sam T. Sam T recoiling but getting him on the second take.
We see again here Burnside playing slow and playing short, not trying to push the envelope. Just play the percentages, play safe rugby. A nice little tip on there. Sees Patrick Edouard to get over the advantage line.
Clean ball again, recycled. Vi met hard by Sammy T this time. Jolting the ball loose, but just Brighton pinged for offside.
Just probably a little bit over-eager there, Brighton, to get up and meet Manu behind the advantage line. But you like to see that intensity from them.
You do. It's
setting up for a line out just outside.
5-man line out.
Blocker play that.
Oh, nice short little ball in the contact. Burnside pressuring Brighton here, making sure they're going to make their first tackles.
That was clever from Nigel. Just saw the space. No one guarding the ruck and takes that little pick.
You've got to have those pillars and posts, but stolen in the tackle by... Yep. Back on.
Eliepa there, who passes it on to Ed, throws a wide ball out to Fraser Green, who takes it.
Makes the gain line just up over halfway, held up in the tackle. Brighton looking to push through.
And that ball's just squirted out the back. Chase on here to try and recover. And Jordan Chetter's done very well there to recover that. As the penalty is called in Brighton's favour.
Hands in. So Brighton ball 5 metres short of the 22 to the right of the uprights. Shot at goal being signalled by referee Lisa Kenny. So McPherson will be lining up.
From a similar spot to the first shot, although slightly further out.
Yeah,
but again, you'd probably back him in to kick it from
across the park. He has a nice short action and it's smooth. But he's a confidence kicker.
Well, he's a confident man.
He is a confident man.
And he's kicked his first one.
So
hopefully that's got him up and about for the day.
Yeah, he should be on a roll.
For Brighton's sake, at least.
Exactly.
I'm sure Burnside might be hoping for the opposite.
So 2 steps, pushed it across. Whoa, we jinxed him.
Just slightly to the left of the goalpost there.
Yep.
Hooked it a bit.
Slid it across the front, so to be Burnside restart, 22.
It looks like Ed Wilkes passes on to Keanu, actually, who's going to take the restart.
So looking to go long, kicking down over halfway. Taken.
Just gives him that bit of space to get over the advantage line. He's still going.
Sully making good yards. Takes it to the other end of the cricket pitch. And no clear release is the signal by referee.
I think that's Kieran Brown who was penalised there.
Just hanging on a fraction long on the tackle by the look of that. So McPherson looking for the sideline here. He's right on the edge of the cricket pitch, so footing won't be that flash. But hacks it, not finding. So return by Burnside. Kicks up towards halfway.
It looks like that's gone out.
Midway, 22, 10 metre. So Brighton ball.
Been a seesawing sort of a game so far.
It has been. It's been both sides when they've had possession have actually had good phases of possession and getting through a lot of phases. There has, like, for the conditions out there, there's been a couple of mistakes, but nothing horrendous. So Brighton off the top, Burn up to McPherson, out the back to Pitt and Nakawara, who has dumped it cold. And we shall come back for offside.
Brighton being penalised there. No, you're right. All things considered, been a few handling errors, but nothing you wouldn't expect on a day like today.
Exactly.
They actually managed to play some pretty good rugby for for the conditions.
Exactly. Burnside have probably put a few more phases together than Brighton, but the scoreboard being 3-3, it's been a good top of the table battle.
And that scoreboard probably reflective of the fact that it has been pretty even so far. Both teams had their opportunities. Both teams had their attacking phases.
They have. And defence has been good by both sides. So Burnside exiting down within near the 22. Brown just going up and knocking the ball forward. So Brighton ball midway or 20 metres from short of halfway.
Just going against Burnside for the knock on there. That was a good contest by Brighton.
It was putting pressure on the line out.
Interesting, they didn't throw anyone up at the first two line outs, but just read that one well.
Yep. I think Brighton said, right, well, there's only a couple of blokes with leg tape on them, and they're going to hit the front one first, I'm thinking. So two's always a hard ball, like the two ball's always a hard ball. Early in the game, players start to play themselves into the game, and the line outs start to flow a bit more. So Burnside defending Brighton in this scrum.
It's a good shove put on there by Burnside.
Halfback making an absolute mess of that scrum. Pestering Burn. So messy ball for Brighton.
And that's something Ned will look to do all day. Dan Rutty, Burnside's halfback.
Yep, and the ball's just popped forward there. And he's just decided, no, we'll kick it out, but going back for the penalty. So Brighton will exit off the boot of McPherson. Takes it 5 metres into Burnside territory.
Certainly leaves nothing to chance there, Macca. Make sure that one goes out.
Yep. Did not wish to defend on that. So Edwards to feed the line out. 6-man for Brighton. And movement gone to the back to Strauss.
It's a clean take from Brighton.
Pop ball from T. Pitter stepping through tackles. Feeds to Simpson, but knocked on is the call. Brighton protesting that there was a Burnside hand in it.
And I think that was Louis Fagan who just sort of got in the way there. Sort of tipping the ball as the offload was tried to be made.
I think Brighton were probably quite fair in their protest, but referee can only call what they see. And there was a multitude of players in the way. So Burnside scrum in their 22, 10 metres in from touch, thinking this would just be an easy exit.
That's exactly what I think Burnside will look to do here. I think they'll be wanting to play the game in the right areas of the field, especially with the conditions as they are.
Exactly. Wind is pretty negligible. Trees aren't even moving around here, so it's a nice still afternoon. Looks like we're going to keep the fair weather. Scrum just being reset. So Brighton will look to put pressure on the scrum here.
It's a slightly messy scrum, but Burnside managed to get the ball out. First carry up in the midfield there from Ed Wilkes.
looking for a second hit up out to the forwards, set out to the right.
And here's where I think Burnside will look to clear.
Yep. Deep pass and exit. Takes it just outside the 22.
That's not a bad effort from Keanu there. There's a bit of pressure on from Brighton.
I think it's going to be a day of who sustains the pressure the best is probably going to come out on top. Both sides are putting ample pressure on in both attack and defence. And it's being equally met by the opposition, regardless whether it's Brighton or Burnside. Whoever's got the ball, the attack's fighting hard and the defence are working really hard.
You're absolutely right about that. It'll be, I think, a very tight, very tough game of rugby. I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of expansive play, so maintaining that intensity in defence, maintaining that work rate in attack is going to be crucial.
So not straighten the line out. Burnside feed to the scrum. So they'll take that little they'll take that little win. So resetting with a scrum. 15 in. 5 outside of the 22. Burnside might look to use a little bit of width here.
Well, they're a long way back from the cricket pitch, so if there's a position on the field to do
turnover
it...
ball.
They've
Brighton,
made a meal out of that scrum, haven't they?
They have. So Seb Stocks crashing up in the centres. Quick recycle, burn out to McPherson. McPherson... Oh, it's Dupree coming in off his wing. Quick ball again. Halfback under a heap of pressure.
That was Nigel Lamb, Sam. He's always looking to put pressure on the halfback.
He is.
I've experienced that in training.
So Priestley zipping through and ball out to the wing for Aaron Coleman to score the first try.
That was a great bit of play from Priestley there, just sort of beating a couple of defenders.
He just sort of held his run and then gassed it, put the Burnside defenders in sort of two minds with what he was going to do, and then a nice little offload, and Coleman pretty much threw untouched.
Bit of a dream scenario as a winger. All you have to do is run that one in, don't you?
Yep. Step over the line and dot it down. So Brighton 8, Burnside 3, kick to come.
Now this will be a tricky kick, although he's on the right side for a right footer.
Take your word for it. He looks like he's on a dry patch on a grass island there, so he should be quite happy with his with the foot placement and stability. But as we said, yeah, it's right out on the sideline. He's taken it just outside the 22, so it's a good angle. It's a big kick. But yeah, the pressure, as we were talking about earlier before that try came over, it's the pressure from both sides, and it's going to be a matter of both sides' defence as to how the points are going to come in. Both sides are going to have to be careful within that 22 zone for penalties, because both sides have good kickers, and they'll take those points.
Absolutely, on a day like today.
Yeah, they will. So McPherson offers two-step, pokes at it, and just drifts it down the left-hand side of the upright. So the score still remains at 8-3 Brighton over Burnside in the 28th minute of the game. So yeah, we're getting a third of getting through the game. So Burnside restart. Taken to the far side of the cricket pitch and looks like to be kicking to the right.
And this is interesting. It looks like it's Keanu who'll be restarting this time. Ed Wilkes the first couple kicks taken.
Sends it deep centre fieldish up to Lewis Boyle. Takes it. Gets ahead of steam up into two Burnside players. Gets well met. Quick recycle.
Playing well down this sort of blind side here.
Sam T off a short ball, makes metres. Slow ball for Brighton this time. up to Aidan Flynn, runs it back on a short line. Held. 2 players over the top of him.
That looks like it's Nige Lamb-Sam straight over that one. And he wins the penalty.
Been rewarded for his efforts there as well. So just first players in, release, Lamb-Sam straight over the top, latching on that ball.
It can be an absolute handful around the breakdown.
Loves it.
And he does well to win the pilfer there. And that's Keanu who puts it into the corner. Burnside another attacking opportunity. Line out looks like just outside the 22.
Just outside the 22, yep. They've still got a bit of work to do here for a... but it's a good attacking opportunity here for Burnside. Looking middle and heading deep. Clean take, off the top. Quick recycle. Skip pass.
Play with a bit of width here. Gets it right out wide to Fraser Green playing on the far wing. Burnside done well to get over in support and secure that ball.
Nice tackle by Jordan Craig. Burnside into the 22. Short running on the angle. Recycle quick.
Nasciano takes it off, gives it offload to Patrick Etuati. Slow ball here for Burnside, which will halt some of their momentum. Spreads it wide to Freeman Eater, gives the offload to Ed Wilkes. But who was that who got in the way and disrupted that one?
That was Nathan McPherson. Little knock on. Just dropped it cold. It was a clean pass to him. If it was an intercept, he would have been gone. It would have been an interesting chase on picking.
It would have.
Burnside were all on the front foot heading forward, and then McPherson just making a pest of himself, getting in between 2 Burnside players out wide. So scrummage looks like 10 metres out for Burnside. No blindside to speak of other than the 5 metre channel, so...
Wouldn't be surprised if
Lamb
picks and goes around the left side here, though.
Yep, he'll pick and go. Well, he'll make a mess. He'll make it a difficult mess for Brighton anyway, regardless if he picks. Might be just clean ball for backs. So another solid platform set by Burnside.
Of course, it was the Burnside Calcutta this week, so that might just be in the back of a couple players' minds wanting to score that first try.
Nice wrap ball.
That's a very clean passage of play. He gets it wide to Fraser Green.
Spins
beats one defender. Gets over the advantage line.
Pick and go. Ball available quick.
You see those forwards still working across to try and set up a bit of shape here for Burnside.
Or show and go there, but not taken by Brighton. Nick Simpson coming through, making the tackle. Secondary tackle. Burnside must be getting awfully close.
Spins it wide. Again, wider to Freeman Eater, who takes it right up to the line. Gives the quick offload to Jordan Cheddar, who manages to score in the corner.
And given.
Burnside crowd very happy with that. Just to our left here.
So there's a discussion in the corner between the referee and the AR.
Perhaps deciding if he was into touch or not.
Burnside making their way back, and the arm goes up, and the referee has blown the try.
Well, the on-field call was a try, so you'd have to be convinced to turn it over.
Heavily convinced.
Yes.
Because she was in a perfect spot to call the try anyway. It was great. It was a great passage by Burnside. Nice, crisp cut-out passes, two-hand, players running onto the ball, creating that space and created that overlap for them to score on the corner. So 8-all. Conversion taken. Not taken? No? Ball being kicked in the background.
No, this is Keanu still lining up. Off a few steps in.
And slots it.
That's a lovely kick from there.
Aimed left-hand post, and it drifted round to the right nicely and straight over. So Burnside 10, Brighton 8. 8 minutes to go in this half.
A very good half of rugby it's been.
So Brighton to restart.
Looks like they'll take it to the far side of the cricket pitch again.
Yeah, and send it this way. So McPherson to restart. Sends it deep.
Taken well by Kira Brown, who tips it on to Manu. Gets himself up ahead of steam.
Nice high-low tackle by Brighton there. Nick Simpson coming through, turning the ball over.
It's a great counter-ruck by Brighton. They've made an absolute meal out of that breakdown.
So Sully making metres and tackle. Good leg drive and fire. Up for Riley Byrne, out to McPherson. Skip pass up to Lewis Boyle. Stepping through the tackle. Offload solidly met in the tackle just short of the 22. Ball available again for Byrne. Comes back to the left-hand side. Up to Simpson. Tucks it under one arm. Has a look. Gets well tackled. Looks to be turned over here. Got isolated. Ran away from the support. And
just having
that man, Nigel Lansam, again over the top.
And he'll look to do it all day, Nigel, especially if he sees an opportunity like that where Nick Simpson there, just overrunning his support. Players not there, ready to clean out quickly.
So not too many yards taken in the exit. So we're halfway 22 and 10 metre line. Burnside's line out. Looking to go a bit deeper. Simpson getting his hand to it off the top. Just a messy ball.
Still boggling around, and that looks like it's Sol Lupa who dived on that one.
A little knock on there by the look of it, but not seeing. Burnside with ball. Simpson,
he's offside there.
Simpson making a pest of himself, getting back onside. Oh,
and a little
just had a little
from
look.
Manu. Advantage is played.
So Priestley coming through. Great tackle. Ball spilling through onto the Brighton side. From arm out for a knock on. Simpson again, ball in hand.
Putting a heap of pressure on here, Brighton.
Quick ball. Up to Sully. Riley Byrne just taking his time. Nice line by Sam T, running close to that breakdown. Ball's available again. Burnside coming through and putting pressure on. Forwards in for pick and goes. Peter Nakawara picking and going, making good yards. Fractionally isolated there. Ball out again for Boyle, and Coleman scores in the corner. So that's a double for Aaron Coleman. Just a nice little offload from the breakdown, and drag Burnside's defence to the limit.
I know that was set up by that great chase from Brighton.
Presley coming through. Yeah, it was. It was a great kick chase. Well, it was from a breakdown. It was just hacked through, really, wasn't it?
But Brighton sort of chased in numbers, put a heap of pressure on the Burnside, trying to clean that up, managed to win the turnover, and then they've put themselves in a great attacking position.
So McPherson kicking from the same spot as his last attempt. So hard ankle. He's already had one look at from this side, or right out on the sideline.
Looks like he's taking it from just outside the 22 again. Give himself a bit of room.
Sort of just having a look, and he's sort of having a seat on the physio bench himself. Oh, and he's made a meal of that.
That's a fair shank, isn't it?
It is a fair shank. I reckon I could have probably kicked exactly like that. So Brighton 13, Burnside 10.
Burnside making their way back to the middle now. Looking like it's Keanu Eliepe who's going to restart on the far side of the cricket pitch.
He'll be looking to send it deep again, I would think.
Well, it's been the modus operandi so far. Every kick's gone deep from both teams.
It has been the go-to. But the chase has always been good from both sides as well, putting pressure on the opposition, making sure that they take that ball. So yeah, kicking deep into the 22, down to
Put
Pitter.
it well deep.
Pitter with a bit of space decides to have a run, gets met at the 22 and a solid tackle. Ball out again up to Sully, offloads to Simpson. Simpson getting the support he needed that time. Quick ball again out to Aidan Flynn. In the tackle, slowed down first and second covering tackles, lowers him to the ground. Quick ball again up to Boyle, into a double tackle from Burnside. And hands off their feet by the look of that one.
I think that may have been Nigel Lamsam penalised
Nigel just a fraction unlucky not to keep his feet there. Penalised for it.
Well, as we say, often looks to try and win that pilfer with the breakdown, but sometimes if you don't get it just right, the penalty will go against you.
Yep. It's that maintaining of the feet, which is the issue, isn't it? It's like their hands on the ground this year, and the officials are pretty hot on it. So Brighton exit, take it up to the halfway. Four-man line out. Simpson would be the player here. Yep, clean off the top. Short ball, but doesn't get it to Burn. So Teddy Edwards cleans up. Ball out to centre field. First time we've seen any run through the mud pitch. Boyle makes a clean break, takes it up to the 22, just looking for support, offloads, but a monster tackle from behind. Quick pick and go, picked up by Seb Stocks.
Burnside players flying back to get onside to try and rejoin this defensive line.
Quick recycle. Simpson sending it wide, bounce pass up to Aaron Coleman, who's going to look for another try in the corner. Hat-trick for Aaron Coleman. That was just a great phase of play there by Brighton. There was just constant pressure, some good balls, some good offloads, some good support lines.
No, quite right. Smart play from Brighton. They saw the opportunity. They got that quick ball. It wasn't perfect play, but they know if they could just get on the front foot, get that quick ball out wide in a bit of space, they gave themselves a great opportunity to score there and a good finish.
Yep, they trusted their outside man and their ability to get it wide. So McPherson take three from the same spot.
Yes, every try being scored in the corner here. They're not making it easy for their kickers, these two teams.
No, they're not. Got to earn his points today. So in the 40th minute, Brighton score in that same corner with Aaron Coleman running in his triple. Nathan McPherson lining up to take the conversion. I'm pretty sure this may be the last play today of the half. We haven't had too many stoppages, so
no, none that I can remember. So
McPherson, 2 steps back, leans into it, sends it, bringing it round just short, bounces off the pad.
And that is the half. Brighton taking an 8-point lead.
So Brighton 18-10 Burnside, and that is the first half here at Parkinson Oval. Welcome back to Parkinson Oval for the second half of Burnside versus Brighton. Been a solid first half.
Hotly contested, although Brighton just managing to gain the ascendancy in the last few minutes of that half.
They did. A couple of cheeky tries right out wide in the corner for Aaron Coleman, or 3 so far. Burnside applying plenty of pressure around the breakdown and set piece, getting through some phases, just not finishing. They've put Brighton under a lot of pressure when they were in defence, and then when Burnside have had the ball, their attacking play's been good. Brighton standing up on D, couple of soft penalties which resulted in Burnside getting some points on the board, and then a really good try from quick phase play out into the corner. So start of the second half, Lisa Kenny whistles it away. Oh, taken nicely in a tackle, but player played in the air, so arm goes out. Box kick by Riley Byrne, sends it down to halfway, but kicks it out on the full, so we'll come back to the penalty for playing the player in the air.
I think that was Nigel Lamsam again, just being a little over eager to make that tackle and playing that player.
Good old Nigel. He's been well mentioned today. He's been into everything. His breakdown play's been phenomenal. He's just an absolute pest.
There's rarely a game he doesn't get a mention. No, he's always in and around it.
I have called a few games and his name has been well and truly used. So Brighton exiting, taking it just short of line out, just short of halfway. Ben Edwards throwing in middle ball, but nicely spoiled in the middle there.
And there's that man Nigel cleaning it up, passes out to Manu, who takes it into contact. Well met by Brighton.
Yep, Pitta taking him low.
Messy ball that Brighton managed to steal here.
Ben Edwards making good yards in contact. Byrne up to McPherson, goes. Solidly hit by Lamsam. Quick recycle out to Stocks on the mud. Sends it to Priestley up to... Oh, I missed who that was. Might have been Sculpt Dupree. Haven't mentioned his name. No, he's on this side. So it was Jordan Craig. So turnover again.
So a little knock on there from Brighton that Burnside's recovered. Will play the advantage. Playing the short side here. Quick recycle there. Passes it off to Sol, who makes it over the advantage line.
Just tucks it up under one arm. He was never passing that at all.
No, you're always taking that into contact.
It's a dead giveaway unless they're going to pull out a Sonny Bill. So got a double knock on there, right on the edge of the cricket pitch. I wonder if, we'll just take it in a couple of metres, just so we're not face planting on 2 scrummages into the mud.
Wouldn't want to make it too hard for the forwards, would we?
Oh, no, hell no. The daylight today out there, there's just no need for face packs of mud. It's going to happen, but... So, Sully over the ball. Unlucky not to score the penalty there. So first scrum of the second half. On the 10-metre line. Brighton ball, Riley Byrne to feed.
Just taking a bit of time setting this scrum, but that's nice and stable. Big push from Burnside, and Ned's put the pressure on straight away, but I think he's been pinged.
Ned, the ball's actually got to come out first before you can tackle the bloke.
Again, that just shows how fired up these players are.
Just a little look back at the referee saying, "You sure it wasn't out?" Standard halfback move. I've never ever heard one admit any wrongdoing ever.
Well, it's never their fault, is it?
Never ever. It's always somebody else. So McPherson exiting, kicking down into the 22, so midway 22. So big D required here by Burnside. First real attacking phase of the second half for Brighton.
Just inside the 22 by the looks of it.
6-man line out. Short ball, no jump. Spoilt by Burnside and 1. Exit. Oh,
Burnside looked clear immediately.
showed.
But yeah,
Taken
exactly.
into
Counter
contact.
the show and go.
Met right on the advantage line. Second take at it. No run on that one. Just straight exit. Up
He's
to
done well
halfway.
there.
Aaron Coleman thought about a quick play. So 2 metres short of halfway. Burnside territory.
Brighton with the feed.
So they'll need to be more clinical in this line out, Brighton. Kiri Brown making a pest of the last one and stolen again.
It looks like Josh Etuati that time. Rode that well, Burnside, and just got him up and got him in the way.
Just got in front of the player, so ball
Slightly
messy, mauled, and Brighton ball. So losing 5 metres on that play, but they'll have the set for the scrum.
They haven't been able to set that maul very well today, Burnside. A couple times they've tried it. They haven't really got it much of a momentum going.
And when you look, and as we're watching it on the replay, you look at the Brighton players filtering their way through and making pests of themselves. So, yeah, I think they've probably got to set a bit longer and a bit tighter to stop the Brighton players coming through and just getting a hand on the ball, hand on the player with the ball and making a mess of it. So solid bit of ground for this scrum. Brighton ball in cleanly. Off the back, Pitter to Riley Byrne up to McPherson. Kicks, sends it.
Solid take there by Freemanita, who takes it up and passes it off
Well, nice little chip
to
over
Fraser
the
Green.
top.
A chip over the top into space. Cleaned up by Brighton.
Pitter loves a bit of broken play and foot into touch.
That's a good chase from Burnside there. Isaac Hallam Henson making the tackle. Ned Rutty considering playing it quickly, but deciding against it. Probably the right move there.
He would have been cursed by his forwards.
Often doesn't come into consideration for the halfbacks.
Ever.
The feelings of the forwards.
And they're the ones that are supposed to protect him. So clean ball off the top. Shows one pass for a
Big midfield bomb from Keanu Eliepa and a great chase.
just messy on the ground there, but Brighton have the ball. Byrne looking right, looking left, just left behind by Aidan Flynn, knocked back. So Brighton losing yards, resetting on the 22. Up to Sully, makes yards. Ball turned over in the tackle.
And that's Bailey Loftus, but I think it's being blown back for not releasing.
Might have been a cheeky hand in there as well for Burnside to turn that over.
Mm-hmm.
Do we dare say who it'd be? Let's have a look. Oh, no, he's not there. Mr. Lamsam was standing out of the 10 channel. Sorry, Nigel, it's not your fault. So Brighton
I'm
exit.
almost shocked though.
Yeah, I was just about to add money on it. So Brighton exit 5 metres short of the halfway line for a line out again. Edwards probably need to be a bit more clinical on where it's going to. Brighton got to get their timing right in this line out. Burnside have made a mess of the last 3 and they're actually taking clean ball off the top. Untidy again, Byrne going himself.
That was Bailey Loftus quickly through the middle, putting pressure on the halfback.
So short ball from
Met behind the advantage line by Bailey Loftus again.
Sam T with nowhere to go. So
Slow
Brighton
play
have lost
here.
20 metres. A short ball to Pitter. Pitter takes up over halfway, holds, players release, and he goes again. Hands up to Jordan Craig. Oh no, that's Nathan McPherson, sorry. Steps in and out, tackled. Clean ball set again. Lewis Boyle coming back in on the angle. Held up in the tackle, long place. Byrne again, slows, up to Nakawara. Solid tackle, right on the 10-metre line. Byrne recycling, skip pass out to Manavali, out to Lewis Boyle. Little chip over the top, gets checked on the kick. And then Keanu exits down over halfway.
Finds grass with his kick.
Jordan Craig coming back, cleaning up, having a look. Looks one way, then the other. Makes through the first tackle, not the third tackle, though. Onto the cricket pitch. And not releasing.
Again, probably just Brighton there, not getting back quick enough to support.
Yeah, it was just... It's the first bit of play we've had that's actually ended on the cricket pitch, and unfortunately it's the backs. 15 on 15. But yeah, great over the ball jackal there by Burnside. Brighton just too slow on the support.
So Keanu makes no mistake putting that into touch.
Yeah, didn't chew too much off of that. Just takes it outside the 10-metre line.
Patrick Etuati to feed in this line out. Oh, slightly unclean off the top.
Juggled, but popped. Skip pass out the back.
For Ed Welch, who gives it inside to Jordan Cheddar, who gets it up over the advantage line. Slow play here for Burnside.
Pitter making half an effort to get out of the way.
Just half.
Just half. Up to Manuvai, who was met well in the tackle, tipped up.
And
clean recycle.
Tipped on to Keanu there. Patrick Etuati over the ball, and a quick recycle here for Burnside if they want it. Ned, in two minds, and gives a slightly errant pass to Bailey Loftus, who makes the handling error. But they're coming back for the penalty.
Yeah, Loftus had a little look when that... I don't think he was actually expecting the ball either.
No, and I think the penalty was Brighton offside.
It was. But yeah, Ned looked left and right, and Loftus was sort of left. Oh, here's the ball. So we've signalled for a shot. T being run out.
So on the far side here, reasonable angle, taking the kick.
There's a few Burnside stalwarts on the far side offering advice.
I'm not sure I'd take advice from too many of those players on the far
side.
side.
Never be good advice.
I'm not sure I've seen Tom Hankey or...
John wouldn't be offering anything of value. They'd just be putting their 5 cents worth in. So lining up for a penalty.
Keanu just
shaving
left.
Across the face of that.
So no score. Brighton will restart.
So Brighton back for a 22 dropout. Just taking their time. So Coleman sending it.
Taken on the bounce by Fraser Green. Passes on to Freeman-Eder. And the high kick back. Puts a chase on.
Riley Byrne taken in the air.
And the arm's gone up.
Just a matter of timing. He's only a little bloke and he doesn't jump that high, but you still can't play a man in the air. It was a half a step. Good effort by Byrne, though. Gone from his hands on his hips to the attempt on that. So exit again from Brighton, takes it up to the halfway. With a line out. Four-man again for Brighton. Substitution made by Burnside. Got 20 on. Simpson up in the middle, off the top. Byrne out to McPherson. Pitter through the middle. sends a wobbly pass back in that hits the referee. So Brighton ball.
Pass more in hope than anything, really. Probably didn't quite see who that was going to.
Yeah, it was a yes, I agree. But that's generally a pass from Pitter, though. Like, half the time is you expect him to pass, so you should be there. It's the Fijian no look. I know someone should be there. So Brighton scrum, 10 metre, 20 metres in. And the scrums have been solid on both sides today.
They have.
Solid defensive scrums and solid offensive scrums. So it's been a great, stable platform. We haven't had too many resets. Pitter off the back, takes the blind side, gets well tackled. Good
tackle there from Freeman. Pleading with the referee for the knock-on, but I'm not sure they're much listening to him.
No. Strauss coming back on an unders line, gets tackled in a double tackle. Boyle offloading in the tackle to Sam T. Byrne coming back, pass to nobody, just left behind. Strauss cleaning up. Byrne up to Simpson. To Sully, gets monstered in a double tackle. Clean ball again. McPherson out to Seb Stocks, who's going to get upended right in the middle of the cricket pitch.
And that was Ed Wells making that shot.
One off running Aidan Flynn. Tackled well. Arm goes out though. Missed what that was for. So Byrne coming back to the right-hand side. Up to Lewis Boyle, who's struggling for traction out there. Brighton players. Burnside just reaching through and playing the halfback. So we'll come back to the penalty for offside. And I think we will see Nathan McPherson stand up and look for the sideline.
I think he'd be kicking it to the far sideline here.
Yeah. Oh, Nigel Lansdowne, just a little arm through as Byrne went to pass that last set of play.
That's very typical of him. Loves to make a nuisance out of himself at the breakdown there.
He's just a friendly person, likes to introduce himself to everybody. So Brighton exiting, taking it into the 22. Slow walk up to the line out.
I think they'll be blowing hard, those Brighton forwards, as would the Burnside players.
You think they've all done a fair bit of work out there today. So we've got a six-man line out. Nakawara out in the backs. Untidy again by Simpson. Cleaned up by Byrne, who gets monstered and loses 10 metres in the tackle.
Ball spills out, but recovered by Brighton.
Aidan Flynn picking up, just tidying up. Forwards forced out of the way by Byrne. Simpson tackled, upended. Ball's available again. Out the back for McPherson, up to Stocks. Out the back again to Nakawara. Up to Coleman. Shows, goes himself. Should have looked to pass there. He had two-man on the outside.
Good covering defence by Burnside, though.
Untidy. Little knock on there in the breakdown. And I think Jordan Craig's going to get that one attributed to him. But it was good. Some good expanse. Probably could have gone one more pass about there. But Coleman goes and gets monstered in a double tackle there.
It's Isaac Allenpenson and Manu Vai, the two players making that shot. And if there's two players I wouldn't want to be sandwiched in between, it's probably those two.
And the third one you could chuck on that's Lamsham, isn't it? the three are menaces out there, and they do their job exceptionally well. So Burnside scrum, right on the 22. And a change at halfback.
Yeah, it looks like the move's been made. Freeman Eder, who was starting at 15, has been moved to 9.
Usual spot for him?
I've been told he can play halfback, can play fly half, and fullback, young lad, Kiwi lad, who's just returned from playing rugby overseas in Spain.
Half his luck. Welcome to the cold of Adelaide.
Exactly. Probably rather be over there this time of year. But I think they've brought on Tony Barker and slotted him to fullback.
Fullback in the 20 jersey?
Yes.
Yeah. So, as we were talking, the scrums have been good, but we had a reset.
As we said before, those forwards probably just starting to blow pretty hard here. Both packs have put in a big shift.
Into the 60th minute, just nearly pushed by Brighton. Getting a little bit over-eager, so... Burnside can exit from within the 22.
And I think that's what they're pointing to Keanu there, probably wanting him to put it into touch, give themselves a bit of a breather, and win some territory back. And that's exactly what Keanu does, putting it into touch just on the halfway.
So good exit. So Brighton into contact. Seb Stocks right on the skirt of the cricket pitch. Burn digging in. Show has a go himself. Offloads in the tackle to Simpson. Simpson isolated.
And once again, Nick Simpson's got himself isolated there, and Burnside have won themselves the turnover.
That man again.
He's almost too quick for the rest of his pack.
Simpson, very, very quick man. But then you've also got Nigel, who's coming through, and he's following him like an absolute smell and just pilfering. So exit down to the 10, just outside the 10 metre.
Cheers from the crowd there, as I think that was Jermaine earlier, but making a meal out of taking that one.
Nothing like a bit of crowd support. A Burnside ball. Movement in the line out. Simpson getting up and getting a hand to it, tipping back on the Brighton side.
Looks like another substitution's been made by Burnside. Will Cardosa coming on to play hooker.
So Strauss on the 22, up for Burn.
Well met by Keanu.
And just can't see why they're holding on in the tackle, but not releasing is the signal there by referee Lisa Kenny. I think just Sully just getting a bit isolated by himself. And you got three Burnside players clean in straight over the top. Aidan Flynn just having a half a look, but clean hands on the ball.
And looks like that was Will Cardosa, the recently substituted replacement hooker, coming on and having an immediate impact.
So into the 63rd minute, we have a penalty, Burnside. Looks like we're setting up for a shot. Just to the left-hand side of the uprights on the 22.
And this will be Freeman lining up for this kick. Recently returned from his Spanish Suzerain.
And 3 points added. 18-13. Brighton over Burnside in the 63rd minute.
So just one score in it now. Hopefully this will make for an interesting finish.
Well, the last quarter of the game, and it'll, it's points are out there, aren't they? Both sides are showing that you make a mistake anywhere just shy of the 22, and both sides are capable of kicking it. And yet they're both running in, trying to run in tries as well. So restart taken on the fly, flying tackle missed by Strauss.
Unclean ball there, cleaned up by Freeman out the back as Nigel Lansam takes it into contact. It looks like Brighton here pinged for not rolling away.
Yeah, just held in the tackle though. But got to make that effort. Manu Vai just destroying Simpson in a bump off. Turned over to Boyle, but will come back for the penalty.
Looks like they're playing the long advantage there. Now, they can be unforgiving if you're caught on the bottom of that ruck. But as you point out, you have to make the effort, and sometimes you just get pinged.
The referee once said to me, if it was a bomb, you'd get off it. Fair point.
So Eliappa's going to put this one into touch.
Attempt. Yeah, nice exit. Taking it down. Halfway 10 metre, 22. Good attacking position here for Burnside.
It was a very clear decision there to try and go for a bit more territory.
So Brighton will look to...
Clean take by Bailey Loftus at the back. And Burnside look to set up their maul here. And this is probably the first clean maul they've set up, and they're making good ground.
And actually no contest there by Brighton at all. They were just... They stepped away hoping for the truck trailer call.
Push comes now by Brighton.
Yeah, they will absolutely kill that, and it'll be a Brighton turnover. So Suleimani Avalu getting over the top of that, crawling through that maul, and just getting his hands on player and ball. When it finally went to ground, he was never going to let that one up. So right on the 22, Brighton scrum. Options both sides of the field here for Brighton. Nakawara having a look down this blind side, just off the black of the scrum there. Just seeing who he's up against. Clean ball straight out the back, but Stocks just had a little look as it slipped through. So turnover.
And it looks like just a few words between Bailey Loftus there.
Yeah.
Nothing coming of it.
I think it's talking about who's buying the first round of beers after. So I think this match has been actually really well officiated by Lisa Kenny out in the middle. She's had great control, mate. The calls have been clear and concise, and we haven't been left guessing as a spectator.
No, and I think the other factor in that is she's been quite consistent.
She has, and she's let the game flow as well. So, no, it's been a good spectacle of rugby. So Burnside setting up. Will be 20 metres out, centre field. Great attacking opportunity here. Solid platform. Lamsham reaching in.
Errant pass there.
Coming back for the penalty, Riley Byrne coming around offside. Pleading his innocence. Lamsham looking to go quickly, but shot signalled.
And he's liable just to take the ball himself there, Nigel.
He very much so.
He's an instinctive player. You wouldn't want him to ignore those instincts, although sometimes can get him into a bit of trouble. I think the kick for the post here is probably the right option.
It's those players that have that natural flair and ability that you put a playbook in front of and say, right, we're going to play to this, and they sort of just go, okay, I'll just leave that playbook there and I've got my own. There's a couple of players on both sides who very much of that cut of the same vein, aren't they? You've got Nigel Lamsham, you've got Pitter. They're both flary players that have great instinct around the field, and they make an absolute pest of themselves. And a nice 3 points taken from a really short two-step run-up, so makes it 16 Burnside, 18 Brighton. We've got 12 minutes left to play.
Brighton making their way back to the middle now for the restart, and it looks like they'll be restarting on the far side again. Nathan McPherson, just jogging along here.
Oh, as that ball just bounces on that cricket pitch. Be looking to send it back down into the 22 again. Oh, he's gone short this time. And it doesn't even make the 10.
Wonder if that's a slight miss kick there.
I think it might have been a bit of a shank. So, option for re-kick or scrum.
I think Burnside will take the scrum.
Yeah, that was
set the scrum on this side of the cricket pitch too, just to keep it out of the mud there.
Should have been, yeah. Yeah, it just looked like it hit him a bit high on the shin when he's gone to take that restart. So big scrum here for Burnside. Ample opportunity both sides, although you'd probably think they might look this side unless they want to skip it past the cricket pitch. Substitution here for Brighton. Jacob France coming on. Sebastian Stocks coming off and Lewis Boyle going out into the centres. So nothing like coming on as a fresh reserve, or fresh reserve that's already played a game, straight into a scrum. Oh, kicked through by Burnside.
A little bit of a meal out of that scrum. Nigel pleading for I'm not sure what, but Brighton have come up with it.
Yeah, it was kicked through by Burnside at the back of the scrum, and I think it was Nick Simpson on this side that just dived down on the ball and then ball back through for Burn to exit with. So Strauss held up in the tackle, hands off to Sam T.
Burnside putting on a heap of pressure there.
Up to Flynn, who meets Lamsham and bounces him. Makes an extra 5 metres. Quick ball again for Burn, out the back to McPherson. McPherson on the double pump, out to Jordan Craig, who...
Well tackled by Ed Wilkes by the looks of it.
Dupree upset by something.
They better get on with the match here because Brighton have tried to play that quickly.
Brighton played on with it, but yeah, there was a couple of handbags over the sideline with Skulk Dupree, and I'm not sure who the other Burnside player was, but quiet words being had. And we've got time off. Might be a bit of a conversation here with the referee and the AR. So Dupree coming across, gets tackled into touch. And then just a bit of push and shove.
It was Fraser Green there, the initial push and shove, and then looks like Bailey Loftus coming in. But I'm not sure there's too much in any of that. The referee just having a word with the sideline.
Mr. Lamsham having his 5 cents worth there in the background. Big cheesy grin on his face. The referee will have a couple of quiet words saying, lads, come on, we've had a great game of rugby. Shake hands, let's move on. But cards for both. Bit of cheese.
So it seems they're going to take a zero tolerance policy to that sort of behaviour. Not sure there was much in any of that, but they've been swift to bring out the cards.
Hardly cardable.
Just a little bit of push and shove.
Yep. But it's not in the interest of the game. Lisa Kenny with the referee says we will be having none of that. Brighton penalty.
And cards gone both ways, so still an even 14 on 14.
14 on 14. Was it winger or?
I think it was winger flanker.
Winger flanker. So Burnside might be at a slight disadvantage here. Brighton into the 22 with an attacking line out. Clean off the top for Burn. Out to McPherson. Boyle. Short ball up to Priestley. Spins through the tackle, makes an extra 5 metres. Brighton on the go forward. Dive pass from Burn up to Aidan Flynn,
who was well met by Josh Etuati. Slightly unclean pass out the back there, but Brighton maintained possession.
Yep. Manevalu picking up, making yards. Burn having a look right, then left. McPherson up to Strauss, who was stripped in the tackle.
Burnside over this ball.
Yeah, you can't just lie on the ball, Mr. Vite. Must roll. Yep, just absolutely sealing off there. But the ball's here, sir.
No, fair enough, and that's inopportune plays to give up the penalty there. You'd be thinking Brighton to take the points.
You would, yep, looks like McPherson looking to slot this one over.
probably take his time here too. Just take a bit of air out of the game.
6 minutes of actual time before we go on to the referee's time.
Probably be a bit of extra time for that slight stoppage in play there for the Cards.
There's been a couple of minor stoppages, but yeah, nothing too much. I wouldn't have thought there'd be too many minutes past the clock. So McPherson lining up. Flags go up. So 21-16 Brighton over Burnside. Just a relieving penalty there for Brighton. There's been, well, both sides have had time with ball, and it's just been a defensive battle for both sides, really, hasn't it, for the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, it's been struggling to score either side with ball in hand. Been a lot of intensity in defence, plenty of line speed, and obviously a few errors with the conditions the way they are.
Just a couple of loose penalties that have been the telling difference at this stage for the scoreboard to continue kicking over. So
5 points in it, well taken by Brighton on the restart. A fairly short restart. Burnside looking to put plenty of pressure on here and see if they can win the ball back.
Short ball up to France, met on the gain line. Sam T over the ball. Burn looking to come back up to Flynn. Met in a double tackle. He's got to get to ground.
He manages to do so. The ball there for Brighton. Arm goes out.
Yeah.
Burnside not rolling away.
Yeah. Just trapped in there. There's really not much he could do. And carried on with it with the referee, so he got marched 10 metres.
And that's probably just a bit of frustration there from Louis Fagan.
You look at him, he's come through, he's made the tackle. Oh, I've got my arm out, sir, please.
I mean, you can sympathise. Sometimes you're just stuck under there, but there's no use having a word with the referee about it. I've never seen one change their mind.
Not once, not ever. So Brighton exit down into the 22. Well, right on the 22. So Brighton line out. Good attacking part of the field here. Nice clean bit of pitch. Teddy Edwards throwing into a six-man line out for Brighton. Monavali up in the middle, clean ball for Burn out to McPherson, up to Lewis Boyle, bounces the first tackle, finally gets wrapped up by Lamsham. Burn again, up to France, short ball for Edwards, just gets boot-laced. Simpson picking and going, ball placed. Nakawara picking up, having a snipe. France hands on the ball, shows and goes, support with Sam T. Messy this breakdown, but still there for Brighton. Picked up by Estienne Strauss.
That's Nigel Lamsham straight on that.
No clear release by Lamsham, no. So pick and go again. Manuvali having a go. Oh, there was a cheeky little hand in there by Manuvai, just dislodging it out of France's hand. Oh, that was, sorry, Manuvali's hand. Goes for the place. You just saw that little hand come through and reach out. So Burnside, scrum, centre field, 10 metres out. This will be a big, solid defensive scrum by Burnside. Brighton will try and put the asset on, put a bit of ascendancy on the scrum, I think. Just try and get a bit of an angle on or try and walk over.
You'll think Burnside will look to clear pretty quickly here and try and relieve themselves of some of this pressure. They've been camped in their 22 for the last 10 minutes or so.
They have.
So the scrum is set. Fairly solid platform there. Feed in by Burnside. Quick pick by Sunwell.
Oh,
he's made good meters here.
Gets outside the 22. Quick
recycle. Gets it wide. Kick through that finds space from Fraser Green, and he's chasing hard.
And the offside call by the referee.
So they're going to come right back for the penalty. And Burnside can give themselves an opportunity to attack here and see if they can win this one. As we come to the last minute or so of the game.
So an exit. Just
Bit of a
pushed down to halfway.
hook there from Keanu, but it goes out nonetheless. Burnside feed into the line out on halfway.
So I think Riley Byrne just called for offside in that last passage. So
Ball up, clean take off the top by Josh Etuatu, who swings it wide. Big hit up by Samuel in the middle of the field there. Quick recycle from Burnside as they spin it wide to Eliapper again. Ed Wilkes takes that ball. Out wide to Lamsam, who gets over the advantage line, playing more expansively here, Burnside. Slightly slower ball. Short hit to Sol. Takes it up into the middle field, manages to work his way up the field. Eliapper again. Decides to take him himself.
held up in the tackle.
And that's Freeman over the ball. No 9 here.
Looks
So it
both
looks like
sides.
Manu Vai will go in and play 9.
Biggest halfback in South Australian rugby. Quick replay on the ball.
Nice little stunt there by Freeman.
And
Drew attempts the offload, but is called for the knock-on.
Just a little knock on there in the tackle. It was a good passage there by Burnside. Quick phases, quick attack. Made some good yards.
It was definitely more up-tempo than we've seen from the last little stretch.
Yep.
And they looked much more solid in attack by doing it.
Now we'll reset for another scrum. We are 80 minutes up on the clock, so we're into referees' time. So reasonable blind over to the left for Brighton. Be a good 15-metre channel over there. Seems to be a vacant. Wingers dragged into the open side. Big scrum by Burnside. Picks up off the back Nakawara. Gives out to Boyle, stumbling. Bunches through the first tackle. Players over the top. Clean ball there for Byrne. Pops to T. Short offload to Nick Simpson. Gets rid of Lamsham. Offload in the tackle to Edwards. Edwards up over the 10-metre line. Quick ball again for Byrne, up to Flynn, out to Manavali, to Strauss. Solid tackle, shrugs it off. Clean ball available. Byrne again, goes to the left to Flynn. Flynn out to Coleman. Coleman on the toe, kicks through, nicely cleaned up by the Burnside player.
And that was Tony Barker who did do a good job there. That was coming quite quickly.
Quick recycle.
Josh Etuatu making that carry. Burnside players getting caught on the wrong side of the ruck here. Ball out to Eliapper, who swings it wide to Ed Wilkes. Got a bit of space to work with here on the left-hand side, Burnside. Ed Wilkes wrapping and getting up in support of Fraser Green, who takes that one into contact.
Solid tackle by Boyle.
That's Freeman Eder picking and going. That was
Flirting
Brighton
with
putting
the
a
touch
ton of pressure on that breakdown, so almost had no alternative. Burnside now getting back across to try and set up some phase play. That's Kiru Brown taking it up, beating one defender and getting over the advantage line. Ball out to Keanu Eliapper, who tips it on to Manu.
Manu dispatching Simpson, not happy with it.
Slower ball here from Burnside
And now
now.
goes out for that hand in the ruck.
Quick tap, and that's a advantage given for offside. As Brighton not retiring. That's Keanu swinging it well wide to Isaac Allen Henson, who takes it up to the line. Slight slip allows Brighton to make the tackle. Tony Barker in support, getting over that ball.
We'll come back for the not 10.
And that was a sharp bit of play there from Freeman Eder, the halfback. Often you can catch out defenders not getting back on side this late in the game.
Yeah, they were retreating, but it's a cheeky halfback penalty, isn't it?
That's exactly right. Smart play from the halfback.
It is. It's an opportunity. You pick it like, right, there's a slow bloke. I'm just going to tap and go into that one. Get an extra 10. So exit down into the 22. So we're into the 84th minute. So it's right on the 22. Brighton defending. Back to 15 players per side.
And surely we're getting close to the last play here, so it looks like we're set up for a grandstand finish.
Clean off the top for Burnside.
Swings it wide to Samuel, who takes it up, beats one defender. Another is still going. And makes good ground, getting over the advantage line there. Ball's there for Burnside.
Low ball for Burnside, digging deep. One up to Vi.
Met well, but still going. And he's stripped of the ball there.
Oh, average kick.
Brighton attempting to kick that into touch, I believe, but almost
Come
missing
back
his
for
foot.
a knock on. Yeah, that was a bad hack by Jacob France. He should never kick a ball again. And that's full time. Referee Lisa Kenny has a look at the watch and says, ladies and gentlemen, well done to Brighton. 21-16 over Burnside at Parkinson Oval. It's been a solid match. Both sides deserved the points they got. A couple of cheeky penalties with a telling tale. Huge day. Huge lot of defence on both sides.
You're right, it was a very hard-fought game by both sides. You'd be happy with the effort and intensity in defence. Brighton probably just showing a bit more polish in that first half and executing a bit better in their own 22, and they run away with the win.
They do. Yeah, just watching the replay of Jacob France trying to exit with that ball and the hugest grin on his face when he hacked at it and got nowhere. So, ladies and gentlemen,
I think he's lost his kicking licence there.
It is well and truly taken off him. Probably going to cost him a couple for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, here at Parkinson Oval, we wrap up this broadcast. Brighton 21, Burnside 16.